Rotate, tuck, and tilt, right? So you're basically taking your arms. So let's run through the checkpoints again. We've done this in the past, but it's been about a year since I think we put a video like this up there that has all the checkpoints. So, hey, I'm gonna let you set up, and why don't you run through what you were doing and where you're at now, and then we'll even sharpen it up more today. Today is this. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna sharpen up this posture. We're gonna make sure that he has all these angles correct. Now, so let's run through the checkpoints again. We've done this in the past, but it's been about a year since I think we put a video like this up there that has all the checkpoints. Down the line, hips over ankles, hands falling directly underneath the shoulders. Watch how I do this. I let my arms hang, the right arm hang, and see how it's directly in line with the grip, Chase?
Yes.
That's big. If I'm too far, like Chase was, he would have dropped his hands, he'd have been like this. And then he got a little bit too close today. Guess what would have happened? Oh, but having the hands fall directly in line with that grip, that's big. Of course, bringing this up to the eyes, having the shaft fall right into the ball. The next one, the putter, a direct extension of the forearms. So you have 4 lines I'm looking for. 4 that are running vertical from the ground, or 3 that are running vertical from the ground, 1 at an angle. Hips over ankles, hands under shoulders, eyes over ball, and then the 1 at an angle, my forearms right into the putter, okay? Now, from the face-on view, I want the ball to be 1 inch ahead of center. So if you have the grip right in the middle of my body, the ball would be just ahead of that under my left eye. Left eye is about 1 inch ahead of the middle of my body, right? So that's why I like the left eye being directly over the golf ball. A great checkpoint is pulling the putter up to your left eye and making sure it's right over the ball. Why? Because that means your ball position's good and your distance from the golf ball is good.
It's a 2-in-1
It's a 2-in-1 right there, okay? So that's a big one for everybody. Now the next thing I would say, and here's a little X factor to the putting stroke. We talked about how we don't want that release to be like this. We don't want to lose the face, okay? We want to have a little bit of forward shaft lean to control the face, okay? That stabilizes the face. It prevents it from moving around. Look what I do. Here's a 2-in-1 for you also. When the ball's 1 inch ahead of center, I take the end of the grip and just bump it just barely above the ball. So super small. But what that does, you guys, it takes the loft that we get on that putter. It slightly de-lofts it. The ball is just ahead of the top of my pendulum. So the putter's gonna swing up naturally now with a de-lofted face. So not only is that gonna stabilize the face, it's gonna put topspin on the ball, and it's gonna make it roll more purely.
Yeah,
okay?
That's the only way to get a consistent roll.
Only way to get a consistent roll.
De-loft it with an up.
With a slightly up. But you don't wanna try to hit up on it. You don't want to hit up on a putt intentionally. You do it. I always tell people the same thing with their driver. Your setup is hitting up on your driver. You're not trying to hit up on your driver. And if you're trying to hit up on the driver, you're just not set up correctly. You know, you're not in a position to where the ball's enough ahead of the top of your pendulum and the stance width is correct to where it just happens to meet where it needs to be if you stayed centered and rotated.
Making sure my eyes are over it is...
That's so big for you. So it's funny, you're saying that just by getting your eyes over it, it's helping your hips get over your ankles and not sit back.
Naturally, and that shaft to just promote going right up the forearm here.
And so you guys stay right there. What I look for, and my mentor Todd always talked to me, a great putting coach, either up the forearm or right up the inside edge right there, just never broken like this where you can see the grip like that, okay? If you see the grip underneath somebody's forearms, nope, needs to be up. Look how flat that putter is on the ground now.
It just feels...
Never needed to get that putter flattened. If you got your putter flattened, chances are your setup was not correct. All right, we're done. You being in this position here with your eyes right over it, and you guys, I love what he did. He's just picking the putter up, and he's going right to his left eye. The left eye should be over the ball, and I'm looking right down the shaft line. The shaft is intersecting right into the ball right there. And just for everybody to know, I like the eyes over the middle of the ball or just on the inside edge. The minute you get past it, that's a problem because you're now looking back at it. And if the eyes are way too far inside, that's a problem. And you guys got to equate it like this. It's like looking down the sight line of a rifle. You know, I want to look right down the sight line. I'm not going to be over here trying to aim up or over here trying to aim up. And that's really where we were at. So I think about him, and I think about that 2-footer that I watched him miss for a 30. Okay? Yeah. I mean, yeah, and I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? That's not just stroke. That's the inability to aim perfectly.
It's true.
Because you're athletic enough to where if you're aimed in the right spot, even with the stroke doing whatever, you'll find a way sometimes. Like this, right? Yeah. I mean, we're talking direct extension here, guys. Yeah. You know, leverage grip, Great for hinging the golf club for a swing that needs an angle of attack. Non-leverage grip, great for a putting stroke that wants to keep a putter level to the ground and not having any angle downward.
Yeah, because it's easy for the face to rotate when you have the leverage out here, but for that face to move, I would have to move my shoulders now because I'm so connected.
So, here's the thing. We talked about connection in putting. Now, let's talk about connection in the setup before we talk about connection with the stroke. Now, you're doing much better. The one thing I wanted you to do, you got in there to a point to where, yes, the eyes were right over it, and yes, it's a big checkpoint. Eyes over the golf ball. Here's what I wanted to see, though. Keep your eyes over it and back the feet up a little bit. Now, what that does is it gets you a little bit more into the balls of your feet. You always should be able to lift your heels effortlessly, but never be able to tap your toes. If you're able to tap your toes, all that is the weight is too far back. Typically the hip joint will be sitting too far back here, and that then leads to this. That's putting more around you than it is underneath you, right? So backing the toes away, keeping your eyes over it. So get in the setup again. That'll get you grabbing the ground, and if you can grab the ground, that keeps the putter lower to the ground. It actually gets you engaging your core more. Do you feel that?
Oh, yeah.
So when you do that, the legs light up a little bit. So does the core. Exactly.
Yeah, because
standing closer now, and see how it gets almost too casual.
Yeah.
See how he gets more upright, and now he's over it. You don't look as engaged to me right there. But you back the toes up and keep the eyes over the golf ball. So right there. Now back those toes up a little bit. Boom. You feel that right there?
Yeah, now I definitely can't lift them.
Now you can't lift the. Yeah, exactly.
Not at all. Yeah.
And that putter just stays very low to the ground.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing I'm big on. When you have the weight up in the front of the feet, and I really, with putting, I'm ahead of the laces, okay? I mean, the heels, there's almost 0% back here, okay? I feel like I'm very grounded. I feel like my core is activated, and I feel like it's much easier to keep that putter low to the ground, okay? When I'm just a little bit too upright and too relaxed, it's hard. It's almost I have to push the putter low and away to keep it on the ground. I don't like that. I like being in a position that keeps it there to begin with. Let's repeat this again, though. This is huge. Ready? Like you're giving blood, pulling in to the midpoint between the seam on your shirt and your belly button, then praying. And Todd always told me, he always said, rotate, tuck, and tilt, right? So you're basically taking your arms, giving blood, pulling them in, praying, and that praying gets the sideways pressure on the grip, right? So think about it. If I'm slapping this putter with this palm, and I'm right on the back of it like that, that's gonna go straight down the line. If I'm over here on top, oh, there it goes left. Underneath, there it goes right? But if I'm right there on the back of it, so that's why I like the praying, and getting those arms connected, that controls the path. And really having those hands on there with sideways pressure controls the face, okay? You want your right hand when you open it up to be the putter face. You want your left hand when you open it up to be the putter face. Now you have awareness of the face the entire time, okay? If I'm going this way with my hands, so is the stroke, or so is the putter face. This way, much like the golf swing when I take that grip, right? I love doing this. Drop the club, let the hands hang. If they're in line, the shoulders are square. Open, closed. The shoulders are the train track of your stroke. And we had the blowers going by earlier, so we didn't get to this one, but I wanted to make that clear. Nicholas. Brian E. Baird, a player on tour, putted the opposite way. Okay, the whole point is the shoulders remain square because the hands are going to go down that path. And the putter's gonna follow. Oh my gosh, dude. Those are so much better. And I'll let you actually take the reins here because, what I love is Chase is, he's a student of the game. He is a student of mine, and he went back to the YouTube videos and found the last putting videos that we put up and saw some things that immediately made sense based upon what I even said in passing. At Porzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.